to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. This next-gen console of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I'm, of course, your host, Mark G. And with me, as always, is my also host, the second side of this three-headed coin, Winter Trash Monk the Thizard.
Good evening, and welcome to 2019 Trash Monk the Third. Pause for applause. I am, of course, Winter Trash Monk III, Trash Monk the Third, or better known as Trash Monk III. Hold for applause. Wow, what a great show we have for this E3.
That, for those who aren't in the know, that stands for Electronic Gaming Expo.
Yes. Are you guys ready for some news? Introducing Zombies Ate My Neighbors HD Remake S Plus Squared Times Edition.
Bushido Blade 3 VR Edition.
Yes.
And of course, Skyrim on your pacemaker.
Yes. You can now enter the world of Skyrim through the use of your pacemaker.
Are you prepared for Cuphead X heart monitor? I wasn't.
Coming to you third quarter of 2020, we are now adding Cuphead to cups. Okay.
Mind blown.
Yes.
Don't wash the cup, though.
So, how's your week been?
My week has been nothing but dread and torment as the hounds of hell.
Well, that's normal for living in LA.
Hi-oh. There's real life hounds of hell in LA. Yeah. Real life ones.
See, this is where if I had a soundboard, I would cue up like a sound bit of Randy Newman. I love LA.
I hate that song so much. Only time I like that song is when I'm watching Volcano. That's the only time that song's acceptable. With Tommy Lee Jones, like playing Frogger across cars as lava melts the freaking the wheels.
Yeah.
He would die.
So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a soundboard hookup onto my rig here.
Easier than you think, man.
Yeah,
it's super easier than you think.
Well, it's like I have. The question would be on Zencastr. I have audio only. I mean, the audio is coming through my Blue Yeti. So then, do I hook up my Blue Yeti? We'll find. We'll cross that bridge.
You would need an audio interface.
Yeah,
you need an audio interface, and your left ear would have to be your voice, and the right ear would have to be your soundboard. Right. That's how that would work.
Well, then the Blue Yeti doesn't have an XLR, so what? I would have to get a new mic, right? If I'm going to get an audio interface.
No, I have a Blue Yeti, and my Blue Yeti takes XLR. That's my setup.
And for those two different kinds of Blue Yetis, though.
Oh, you have to get the Blue Yeti with the XLR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I specifically got that.
There's like a Pro Blue Yeti, and then that's the one you probably have.
Yeah, with my Focusrite audio interface. Yeah. Because that's what was on my mind at the time.
Yeah, that's the best option, really. I should have done that if I was thinking about it.
You always can, my man. You always can.
If I got the money, you're making it sound like I always can.
You always can, man. You can do anything if you're mad
Okay,
enough.
Joel Osteen, let's go. Move on.
You can eat anything if you're mad enough.
Razors, Tide Pods,
Tide Pods, bath bombs,
yes.
In and Out. You can eat anything if you're mad enough.
I love LA.
Love LA. You love it. 6th Street Boulevard. We love it. 6th Street. We love it. We love it. That was pretty much my week, just that song. This moment was my whole week. I watched E3.
But can you regale us with why you got bit by a certain thing?
So this week I was oop to the boot, as our Canadian cousins would say, and I got attacked and scraped by a woodland squirrel because I encroached upon its decrees, and it bit me on my ankle. And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I went in the house, and it drew blood. And I was like, "Am I gonna get rabies and die now?" So I went and got it looked at, and they were just like, "No, you straight." They put some Robitussin on it and told me to go lay down. And ever since then, I've been having these uncanny need for nuts. Just want nuts all day.
Where a squirrel?
Where a squirrel? My front teeth are enlarging. I'm getting a little bit more jumpy.
Yeah.
Darting around, looking. I can climb sheer trees now. It's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
By a woodland creature, dog. It wasn't the funnest. But it was a radioactive squirrel.
It's all MOTN canon now.
Yeah. And Michael's part squirrel. And
yes.
Mike G is part squirrel now. And there's nothing I can do about it.
I can't help this book.
Oh no. Forget Terminator Dark Fate. Mike G Dark Bait. And you just leave out nuts and I go get him.
Introducing to the Avengers universe.
Forget Squirrel Girl. I'm Squirrel Guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that gender swap. Yeah. Get upset about that on Twitter.
Feminism. I'm dead inside. All right, so
nothing is real.
Yeah. Nothing really matters. Yeah, I watched some E3 this weekend, but then I've also been having this thing of it's hot right now, as many of you know, and I get very irritated very quickly when it's hot. So, like my friends are telling me something and I go, "Stop it!" Like I'll just like lash out, and it's funny to them, but it's like I'm serious. Yeah. Shut your mouth. Or like what was one? Like I'm watching the Square Enix, or I think it was Ubercost press conference, and he was ahead of me a little bit, one of my friends, and he kept texting me things that I haven't seen yet.
Oh, that's the word.
And I'm like,
that's the word.
I told like stop it.
Stop telling me what I'm doing before I do it. Dang it.
Stop
it. Yeah, I would just turn off my phone at that point, especially with like spoilers. And it's only happened once a year. Like, dude, relax. I need you to relax. I need you
to take a hike.
I like that. Take hike.
Yeah.
I need you to take this hike and go somewhere. To the further lands, to the Underlands, the Overlands, dog. And we did nothing this week.
Yeah, I'm starting Deadwood.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it nice?
No. It's not nice. It's sugar and spice. It's nothing nice, pretty much. Yeah, pretty slow week. I just still playing FF, still working on building the free company, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And that's about it. So I think we should talk about our poll of the week.
All right, let's get
'Cause we
to
got a
the
lot to
polls.
get through. Yeah, you guys remember Bullworth with
Oh
Warren
my
Beatty
gosh.
and Ghetto Superstar? What is what you
No,
are?
I remember Amir Baraka, but no one else. Or I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Who was the female lead? Was that Holly Berry? Was that in that
No, I
movie?
just remember
Bullworth?
it was either they had Cornel West or something Baraka. I can't remember his name.
Baraka was in that
Barack
movie?
Obama, yeah.
I was thinking about like Mortal Kombat Baraka. Like Baraka was in
Okay,
Bullworth?
no. How dare you try
Dude, that
to
would have been sick.
hijack this?
He had a suit on. Yeah, he was running for he was the Republican candidate. Baraka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amiri Baraka. Yes, Amiri Baraka. I believe he played the homeless black guy in Bullworth.
Tell me another movie that this actor or actress is in, because I don't recognize the name.
Well, he's not an actor; he's a poet.
he's a man.
Yeah, I can't. Let's see here. Yeah, he was his character was Rasta Man on Bullworth. Does that help anything?
Oh, that reminds me of that joke on Eric Andre where Hannibal Buress was talking to one of the guests. I think it was like Heidi Conway or something like that. And he was like, "Do you listen to Waka Flocka
Yeah.
Flame?" And she was like, "What's a Waka Flocka?" And he was like, "Well, it's a man." She looked so dumbfounded, like, "What?" So stupid.
Yeah.
That's just me sandbagging. I have no idea who you're talking about. My apologies.
Check him out. He has he's known. He was a poet laureate for, I believe, New Jersey. He wrote a poem that we had to study for college called "Somebody Blew Up America." So
wow, that sounds not electrifying.
It's not something you want to bring up during Thanksgiving, folks.
Not in front of Nana and Paw.
But it's interesting.
You know, not in front of Nana and Paw.
It's an interesting poem, folks.
Speaking of food.
Okay.
No, finish your thought.
No, I'm done.
Sure.
Let's just shove attack in that and raise the flag for the poll.
All right, we're gonna do a poll about Amir Baraka poems next time and see what kind of feedback we get. 100%. America Blew Up is gonna be number one with a bullet.
But you know what the favorite donut was? Let's move this along. Let's move this along, folks.
Jeez, I know the podcast is a hot mess already. I love you guys. So we did a poll, and it was Donut Day. So we was like, "Hey, what's your favorite donut?" And some guy gave me flack for not putting an apple fritter, and I was like, "What?
That's not a donut."
So here's what happened. So I put up the poll. Favorite donut. The choices are glazed, chocolate, jelly, and a twist. Right. And all I see is a comment that says, "No apple fritter?" ? This is a clown poll. I was like, what? So I responded back because here at MOTN, when it comes to reputation management, we are 100% on the ball. I reached back out to him and said, "Well, there are subtle differences between fritters and donuts, actually. So next time we do the fritter poll, I'll make sure we got you done."
Which is gonna be never, because there's only one.
Which is
fritter.
Never. Which is the apple fritter or a bear claw, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, well, bear claws are different then, because bear claws are in the pastry category of like how turnovers are not a donut either.
That's why it wasn't on the list.
Right.
That's why it's not considered a donut.
See, I say
anyway,
everybody should try to run a poll on Twitter, and then that will tell you how crazy democracy is. Okay.
See, it's really just a social experiment for the most part. I just love seeing people's responses.
There's the Stanford jail experiment, and then it's Twitter poles.
Jesus Christ. I don't want to be compared to that majesty.
Well,
Dang, that's
you're
I
in it
don't know.
already.
I guess I
People,
am. So
yeah.
yeah, go for it, man.
It's just it's crazy. Like I was a part of it too. The first poll about no Snake Plissken. I'm like, I can't
You
even get out
automatically
of
do that,
I can't even get out of my
right?
head for a second. Yeah, it's an automatic thing to complain because my thing isn't a part of it.
Yeah, it's like if I write a poll, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Leo, Mikey, Donatello, or Raph? There's always one guy who's like, what about Slash? Slash is not on the list. Slash isn't a Ninja Turtle, but he is a Ninja Turtle.
That's exactly.
Get out of here,
It's in the
man.
same sugary dough category, but it is not a donut, folks.
Not a donut. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You heard it here first. So Twist didn't get any love. Twist got like 4% of the vote. Jelly Donuts got 25%, 23%. Chocolate Donuts got about 33%. And Glaze took it home with a solid 40%. People just love that old school Glaze. It's non-defeatable. So with this data, I have to ask you, Winter, what's your favorite donut?
Glazed, hands down. I'm not a communist. Move on.
Okay, we're just not drawing lines.
You know what? I have to say that Twist shouldn't even been on here because Twist is not. It's just Twist is just another form of a glazed or a chocolate.
You know what? My answer is Maple Bar, and I will fight you to the death. Maple Bar.
You didn't even add Maple Bar to this.
It's not my poll. This wasn't for me. This is for everyone. And I tried to choose the most common donuts you see all the time. The Mount Rushmore.
But Twists are not like it shouldn't be considered a different category of donut because it's just because there's jelly twist, chocolate twists, and glazed twists.
But there's also like hot Cheetos glazed.
It should have been an old fashioned.
It should have been an old fashioned. I will not fight you on that.
Yeah,
I just always get twists. I don't know.
See, this is why you shouldn't. This is why you shouldn't be running.
See, okay, I will gladly hand the poll options over and see.
No, I don't have the time. I don't let the. I'm of the upper class that goes let them eat cake.
So, let them eat cake,
yeah, so or let them eat donuts.
Let them eat donuts.
Let them eat the bag of donuts that seem to always be in the back of donut shops.
Oh, that's the sin donuts right there. Someone cried in those donuts, and now you're in a sin eat their sins.
Do you have Yum Yum Donuts over there?
Somewhere around LA.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme donut? It is the most overrated donut on the planet.
What are you talking about?
Krispy Kreme is overrated as hell.
No.
It's double H hockey sticks. I would take a Wenchels donut over Krispy Kreme any day.
What type of donut?
It's Wenchels. Maybe it's if you know Wenchels, shout out in the chat. Jesus. What are you? Okay, rather than Wenchels, I will sub that out and say it's a so LA thing. But if you saw Iron Man 2, you know we have something called Randy's Donuts.
Yeah,
with the giant donut.
Well, you can't. I say that you can't compare Krispy Kreme to like mom and pop donut shops type of thing. Krispy Kreme's is a chain, so you'd have to compare it to other chains like Yum Yum or Dunkin' Donuts. It's good for you. But to say that Krispy Kreme is a terrible donut, overrated donut, is by far one of the most crazy things I've heard. Because let me tell you why. Krispy Kreme has a dear spot in my heart because as a kid, we would go to Krispy Kreme. We would walk over. We would go through the line to see the donuts made, and then they would hand out a free donut at the end.
Yep.
And I must have gone and done that 5 times in a row, and they kept giving me a donut each time.
Dude,
and they tasted so good until I got sick. But
okay, I don't want to go into because we just got out of the cocoa wars, so I don't want to start another war. But I will
You
not.
were about, yeah.
I will not. I will not recant my statement. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's other donuts I
Yeah.
prefer over Krispy Kreme. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Can't do it.
Okay. Well,
You want to hear some exciting
that's the
news?
mark of the beast, I
I
guess.
guess that's
Sign on
that.
up.
That's that computer chip, huh? Right under the skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what they want you to think, but really the mark of the beast is not liking Krispy Kreme
I didn't
donuts.
say I didn't like them. I said they're overrated. It's a difference.
Oh, my bad.
You know what is overrated though? Shake Shack. Shake Shack is super overrated. That was like
Never been to Shake Shack.
That was the most basic ass burger ever. Anyway, you know what's exciting? You know what's cool? We got
What?
our first Patreon patron ever.
Patreon.
We got our first Patreon shout out on the channel. And I want to shout out Vita Renee. She is our patron at the $5 tier. So she gets this lovely shout out. She gets access to our Discord. So she's able to talk with us and play video games with us. I'm going to start scheduling nights that we all play video games together, like an MOTN Friday or something like that, where we all can just jump and play a video game. So we're going to start doing that. And we're going to open up our free company, of course, in Final Fantasy 14. So you can join our free company and play FF14. Or if you want to play with us in Rocket League, or if you want to jump on some fighting games, we can just talk and you know, shoot the fat.
And we can play Brawlhalla now
We could play
because I know it's free.
We can play Brawlhalla now because we know it's free. So she gets all that at the $5 mark, and she gets exclusive content, such as timed exclusive content, mind you, such as our MOTN After Darks. She gets access to our MOTN reviews and our MOTN top 10s a whole week ahead of everybody. She gets a 7-day timed exclusive. So she can listen to those episodes as they come out and relate to what we're talking about in the moment.
Yeah.
That's what being a Patreon provides you, listener, who's teetering on the edge of supporting the channel.
Yeah.
You know?
So shout out once again to Vita Renee. Swing!
There you go. If we get 50 Patrons, we're going to have to make that noise 50 times.
I can do that.
You set the precedent. So here's the thing.
Our hats go off to you. Wing. Okay.
Swing.
Yeah.
Like I
Let's bring back Wayne's. Why is there a Wayne's World reboot happening?
Please don't put that into the atmosphere. Because I can see it now.
Vita Renee, get to work on that.
Vita Renee, please send us your Wayne's World remake treatment, and then we'll shop it to Hollywood. Okay.
Still have, it's going to be like Wayne's World 3, so it's just continuation. I would say.
If you go the Bill and Ted method, where you have Bill and Wayne's World be there, but now they're old men, are their fathers, and let the kids be the new Wayne's World.
No. It's got to be
Winona's World.
Wayne and Garth with their own Twitch stream now.
Or their own podcast.
Yeah,
podcast. I believe it.
Swingcast,
dude. It writes itself, guys.
Yes. This is why I'm not allowed at Mark Ruffalo's house anymore.
I got kicked out of Joe Piscopo's house for the same reason. You know.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, because I was talking to him about Sidekicks 2, and he told me to leave.
Hold on. Okay, hold on 1 second. Well, I'm gullible enough to believe that this is a real deal situation because I'm going, you're one of those Los Angeles dudes that sees famous people all the time.
City. I had a friend who was the cousin's dad of Joe Piscopo. And we ran into him, and I said, Sidekicks 2 would be sick. You could be the villain again, and your son could be the sidekick this time. He was like, who is this kid? Like, it was my friend Mike. He was like, how you doing, Mike? And I just went and showed up about Sidekicks 2. I didn't even acknowledge him saying hello. I just kept talking about it. Like, so you could get Chuck Norris.
We need to cue this up. We need to cue this up to Mike G's Hollywood.
No, I have no Hollywood. I just have moments in life that I regret. So.
You keep saying that, but then we find out more like, oh, I've met Seth MacFarlane in a bathroom.
I didn't meet him at a bathroom.
Or I've met George Lopez in a Radio Shack.
Okay. George Lopez is evil enough to make us go to the news. I can't even continue that joke. I can't stand George Lopez.
What part that you don't like about him peeing on a person's star on the Hollywood Walk or whatever
It's
it's
called the
called
Walk of Fame.
because he doesn't like
Well,
him?
people are entitled to their opinions,
Yeah,
even though it's a public display of illegal display. You do what you want, and as long as you
yeah.
can live with the consequences, then that's on you. Do what you like.
That's my mouth getting dry
Mine too. I need a.
from the
This,
conversation.
this, these pretzels are making me thirsty. Okay, we have a metric ton of E3 news, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going
Yeah.
to the news.
Take it to the news. Take it to the news. Take it to the
I
news.
like that. So here's how we're going to handle it. We have some movie news that doesn't matter, so we're going to kick that to the curb. We're not worried about it. So we're going to talk about video games. This is a video game podcast for right now. You like video games? You like
E3, Daddy-o.
So we're going to go over some real quick pre-E3 news, and we're going to use our patented lightning round. So what's going to happen is we're going to go through this news first by the pre-E3 news, and then we're going to go by it based on per conference. So we're going to go over the announcements for Microsoft, then Ubisoft, then Square Enix, then Nintendo. So if there's something that you don't want to talk about, winner, for the sake of time, say nay, and we will skip it, say yay, and we'll talk about it for like 3 minutes. And we'll move on. I have one veto, so if there's something you nay that I really want to talk about, we're talking about it. So that's how that's going to go. So let's start it up now. So the first bit of news I have for the news that kind of propped up before E3 was more information about the Google Stadia. Pricing, launch window.
Stadia.
And then you see Sonic come out. Stadia. Yay or nay?
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's a new console coming into the market.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it now. I just know that it has the same price as the Ouya back in the day.
Talk about like just a shiver down your spine, right? Having to remember the Ouya. It pretty much has the same idea too. So the Stadia is not a console. It's more of it's more like Google Plus, if you really think about it. It's an applicable streaming service that provides you with a controller and access to stream games. And there's it costs like the entry fee is like $159, and that gets you the controller and access to some games. But you can also get the subscription, which is like $9.99 a month, and that gives you access to stream their available library of games. And one of those games, which is our next talking point, is Baldur's Gate 3 was announced for the PC and Stadia. Yay or nay?
Yeah, Baldur's Gate. Let's talk about it. It's been a while since Baldur's Gate 2, right? And the market has kind of been stuck on Divinity Original Sin 2 forever. So kind of the next iteration, same company, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm excited about it because look, folks, I'm a D&D dude. And it is hard to get groups together nowadays.
Yes, it is.
And even the group that we're doing online, there's still things that we're missing. And I love RPG games that give you the option to make your own adventures. I think a lot more people should take advantage of that. There should be a plethora of channels on YouTube of people just trying the worst adventures they can find.
Right.
But it's not out there.
Yeah. It takes effort, man. It takes effort to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And they should even have like a feature where you can record your own audio for characters.
That would be cool.
Okay. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm excited. Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm excited. I could care less that it's on the Google Stadia. It shows to me that they are going to get some big names on there. And it combine that with the Ubisoft or the Ubercost gamings, how all their game library streaming thing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking about? Their
your
game
game
library
library.
is going to be accessed on the Stadia
Yep.
as well.
So it's smart money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's a low entry point. But
it's smart
the
money,
only thing
honey.
is that to run this thing, you're going to need a exceptional internet connection, like
That is true.
crazy internet
That is true.
to run 4K 60 frames seamlessly, and also think you're going to stream that. You know what I mean? So get hype about like this.
And you have to, you have to make a hard argument to like show me the pros and cons of why this is better than having your own tower and a Steam account.
Money.
Right.
That's the argument.
But
money.
yeah, but even then there's people who can make like zombie rigs. Like I know kids who are in high school who have no money, but they're still able to like make these zombie machines to make these towers to play some games. And then the Stadia might come out and like give them a boost up, but it's still, there's that lure, there's that thing in the back of people's minds of like, I need a gaming computer.
And
that's just me.
Zombie rigs are definitely viable. 100%. I'm not going to say you only can game if you have an alien wears whoop de whoop de whoop. It's not realistic. Zombie rigs are real, so I'm not going to take that away from it. But when you're asking for but they're not catering to that common denominator. They're catering to the mass audience, grandpa, grandma, 5-year-old kid. You know, people who are going to spend the money. And when you tell them you don't need a game system anymore, you just need the controller. All you need is an internet connection. You can play anything. So when little Jimmy Joe Jams comes over, he doesn't have to tie up the computer because he can play Stadia on your laptop. He can play Stadia on your phone. He can play Stadia on your smart TV. It doesn't matter. You don't have to set this up for him. Just give him the controller.
But is it the masses? But is it really the masses if the internet that the masses need isn't out there for them all? It's now.
Not. And that's the biggest caveat. And that's the thing why I wouldn't endorse the Stadia, because I suffer from horrible internet. The internet for my area does not offer me enough to stream on Twitch. And that bothers me because I set up so much to stream MOTN plays. But I can't because I'm pigeon-toed by my area's availability for internet. So I can't have the Stadia. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. But if you're living in some kind of Google Fiber paradise and you can stream anything, maybe it's for you. But from my understanding, most of America doesn't have that kind of internet. And from my understanding, that America into itself has a horrible internet infrastructure. So this wouldn't cater to 75% of the masses because who has the internet, to not just blow out their bandwidth. So a lot of people have internet caps. You know what I mean? Can you imagine playing a 14-hour set of Overwatch at 4K 60 frames, streaming it? It's like a terabyte an hour,
right?
Something nuts like that. So I just don't think as a country, as a culture, we're where this thing wants us to be just yet. You know?
Yeah. It's bizarre.
It's a little bizarre. How bizarre? How bizarre? Moving on. Darksiders Genesis was announced. I didn't even read this article because I didn't like Darksiders 3. I'm happy with skipping that. So you know where we're going to now? The Microsoft press conference.
I noticed you didn't have Bethesda up here.
I forgot Bethesda. That says a lot. So we can talk about Bethesda, but I totally forgot they had a conference.
Yeah, we can do that after Microsoft.
Yeah, we'll do it after Microsoft.
Yeah.
And I'll actually pull it up.
Okay.
So here we go. We're going to start blasting through these. So next gen Xbox was announced. Project Scarlet. Yay or nay?
Really? It
speaks for itself.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. New console. What else can we add, folks?
They're focusing on performance versus graphics. It's going to have a solid state hard drive, so there's going to be almost 0.1% loading times. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing performance super hard this console season, so there's going to be no jaggies. Everything's going to run at 4K 60. There's going to be no load screams. just screaming through the loading stage, and everything's that's what PS5 is pushing too. Everything's supposed to be seamless, like just you can't even tell that you just shifted into a cutscene, and now you're shifting back to gameplay,
Right.
and now you're loading. The game isn't loading because it just goes. So that's what they're pushing for the next gen, apparently.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna sound like an old man here. I've heard that so many times over the years that it's gonna be seamless, that you're not gonna notice it, and so I'm just chalking that up as buzzwords.
I think,
like the same, yeah. It's almost impossible, folks. You're like your human eye can detect it. I don't understand.
I think the seamless that they were talking about was in regards to like photorealism and like visual fidelity. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily load times, because we've been dealing with load times since the PlayStation, since the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
You know, so we're all used to load times, you know.
Right.
I mean, okay. If you grew up in the 90s, you know all about that. And if you didn't, you still know about that, because things still load, you know. So, stupid bag. Okay, moving on. Halo Infinite cinematic trailer.
Oh, dope.
Oh. No gameplay though.
Yeah, they're not gonna. There's not much you can show about a Halo gameplay. It's pretty much straightforward, right?
I mean, I get this a story trailer, and Master Chief looks sick. I'm happy he's back. You know, some people may say I'm a Sony fanboy, but I've had more Xbox systems than I've had PlayStation systems in the last like 10, 15 years. I'm an Xbox guy. It's just that Xbox One had nothing for me. You know, it offered me nothing. So I had to sit out that gen. Nothing. But they're doing it smart. They're saying, look, guys, we're going to launch Halo Infinite with the Scarlet like we're supposed to. This is going to be our console seller. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm super deep for that. I'm super down for that.
Yeah, I'm excited more really right now. I need a date for the Master Chief collection.
Never get it.
Sorry, that's me banging my desk there.
Never get it. Never gonna get it. That's okay. They shouldn't have announced this. The problem. They're hoping.
Yeah, they should. Like I was like announcing Halo Reach this week. Call.
Right. Just call. You just call at the Earth.
Yeah. Take my money.
Take roulette. Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. Keanu Reeves is in it. Yay or nay?
We don't really... Cool.
Moving on?
Yeah.
Whoa. Moving on. He came out on the E3 stage. The guy is just perfection. There's nothing much else to say. Gears 5 gets a release date, which is going to be September 10th. It looks like Gears 5. I don't know what to tell you. It's a Gears game.
Yeah, never been a fan of Gears, to be honest.
Same here. I like Gears of War 2. I played a lot of Gears of War 2. That was super fun. Didn't play 3. Didn't play, I forget what the other one was called. Didn't play 4. I love 2, though. Yeah. Project xCloud is coming to the Xbox One, which is supposedly their new kind of public server system where I guess it helps stream your games better or something like that. They were very vague about what it actually does. You know?
Yeah.
So that, it's kind of a non-article, you know? Okay, how do you feel about this? The Xbox Game Pass is now going to be on PC.
That's cool. I like that. That is a great deal if people actually take advantage of it. Because it's not just it's all wrapped into one price of your PC games, your Xbox games, and your Xbox Live account for $15.
So you, Winter, have a PC and you have the Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
You can then sign in on your friend's, I think, your friend's Xbox One and have access to your games in a weird way. I think that's how that works. They can
that's true.
Borrow them or something like that. So
that's actually pretty similar to how a lot of people have been stealing games. Actually,
since the dawn of time. So you're absolutely right. Xbox Pass Ultimate is a hell of a deal. I had an Xbox One right now. I would probably do it if only for Knights of the Old Republic 2. 100%.
Yeah. And in fact, I think that's why they have it as such a. I think part of it being such a low price is because they know how many people like share
So it
their
doesn't matter.
accounts
It's
over.
fine. Yeah, I totally.
What?
I'm disagreeing with you. That's why it's so low.
Oh,
I'm not saying what you're
yeah,
saying doesn't
yeah,
matter. I'm just saying that's what they think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they, like they're trying to figure out how can we still get money from people who know that they could figure out a system with their friends of you log into my account on your Xbox, you download this game, and then it's like a I can't remember what it's called, like Xbox account share or something like that. I know
Yeah,
it's
they
yeah.
yeah they
It's
really
weird.
lose it up on
Yeah,
that.
I don't know
It's
what I'm
weird.
saying, folks. You know what I'm saying.
You know what he's saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Elden Ring, Dark Souls X J.R.R. Martin. Yay or nay?
It looks cool. It's
Oh,
hard
hell, it
for me
is.
to get into RPGs just from like the
It's
graphics. Like
fine.
I need to see what the gameplay is going to be like.
That's why I was feeling about Halo. So
Yep.
sounds interesting. We'll see what it looks like when someone's actually holding a controller. That's all I got to say. Speaking of controllers, there's a new Xbox Wireless Elite controller that's coming out. That's
I
the
kind of
news.
want
Moving
it.
on. It's clean, isn't it? And it'll work on your PC. Jeez
Yeah.
Louise. Psychonauts developer Double Fine is now Xbox exclusive developer. Yay or nay?
Yay! Get some competition in
Yay.
there.
See what else Double Fine does, man. Hopefully they can do some new innovative games.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a reason to own an Xbox Scarlet or whatever it ends up being. Oh, I'm so mad at this news. The Dragon Ball Z project is called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and it's just an RPG about Goku, about the Saiyan saga, and about the Frieza saga. Again, I have one thing to say about this before we skip.
Okay.
Is that they could have chosen any other character, and it would have been 1,000 times more interesting.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to see
Piccolo's
the
Adventure.
Saiyan saga. Exactly. Like Dragon Ball Z Piccolo.
Yeah.
Just tell it from all
Dragon Ball
Piccolo's
Z
point of
down to
view.
monkey business.
Dragon Ball Z Joe Piscopo. What happened?
Yeah,
What was Joe
or
Piscopo
Dragon Ball
doing?
Z MMO. Okay, let's move.
They tried that and it failed miserably.
Because they don't have me working for them.
Hi.
Let's rip off Elder Scrolls.
Let's just rip it off. No, let's rip off Fallout. Oh, I'm sorry. The Other Worlds already did that. That's a low blow because I really want to play the Other Worlds. We get a release date for that, which is October 25th. It's just Fallout New. It's just New Vegas, guys. It's just New Vegas, and I'm so down with that. Let's just let it rock. There's this weird 4x4 multiplayer melee game called Bleeding Edge that's coming out by Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm.
It looks quirky and it looks very Overwatchy, and I just don't know how to feel about it. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Do you care? Yeah.
Time will tell. Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on it, really.
Same here. Ori and the Wisp and the Willows is coming out soon. Release date of February 11th, 2020. Nothing much to say on that. I can't wait till Ori and the Blind Forest goes on the Switch because I kind of want to play it on the Switch. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars. A Skywalker song. Moving on. Tales of Arise. Moving on.
Okay.
This is interesting. So after like 10 years, Phantasy Star Online 2 is finally coming to the West. Do you know the story about this game?
Was this still in the Microsoft conference?
Yes, that was a Microsoft conference. I believe so.
I must have missed this part.
Yeah. So Phantasy Star Online is a game that's been out for like 10 years in Japan. And Japan has been staunch to not release it to the West at all. And it's been out for so long. And they've added so much stuff to the game. And now they're finally bringing it out to the US, Canada, South America.
Yeah.
And it's like this is pretty much Japan's version of like Duke Nukem Forever. You know what I mean? Like people have pirated this game. People have done so much stuff to try to play it on their rigs, and now they don't have to worry about that anymore
Yeah.
because it's going to be here. So more power to them. And lastly,
Yeah, I don't know much about the game.
I played Fantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast. That was super fun back in the day. But I don't know. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm just happy people are going to be able to play a game they've been trying to play for years. That's the excitement I pull from it. So I'm cool with that. And lastly, Battletoads gameplay.
Battletoads.
I love Battletoads, but this game is not looking good, dog.
Okay.
I get the art style.
For the sake of time, I will accept that.
Okay. For the sake of time. So,
yeah.
Overall, what do you rate the Microsoft Game Conference? A, B, C, or D?
I give it a B. I think
solid B. There was some hot.
It was basic.
It was thank you, B for basic. I will freaking take that. Okay. So as you reminded me, let's talk about the Bethesda conference.
Yeah.
So I need to pull up that right now. So
yeah. So the Bethesda, right away, we can say off the bat, their form of an apology was not a real apology at all.
It was the most.
Yeah. There was no admitting wrongdoing, but there was admitting of we listened to our fans, which is a whole. And I don't know why they didn't do that, unless they don't think that they did anything wrong or like it's still a success, or they believe that to talk ill about a game is that you've made is wrong business practice, which I can understand that move if I was a businessman myself.
Like business wise, I ultra get it. Like
yeah,
they cut corners. Is what it is. This isn't Fallout 5. They never said it was going to be Fallout 5. So a lot of the things that make Fallout great, like your NPC interaction, or your charisma, or your intelligence, or having conversations that matter, or having storylines that connect to other storylines, all that just got cut out, and they thought people weren't going to notice it. That's the sin. That's the real problem with how Fallout 76 got rolled out. And now they give us the stuff that was supposed to be there from the jump and expect us to clap and say, yeah, Bethesda's back. Like, no, you don't applaud negative behavior. You know, the game.
Well, at least you're not, but a lot of the game industry is applauding negative behavior.
And that's a big problem. And that's why we have to vote with our wallets. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So there's also another game I wanted to talk about in the Bethesda conference, which was that cool looking game by Shinji Mikami, Tango Studios, the guys who did The Evil Within 2. I was hoping for Evil Within 3 because I really liked Evil Within 2, but I'm happy that they're doing a new game called Ghostwire Tokyo. And it just seems very Evil Within-y. And it seems like more of the same, and I'm super okay with that. That's probably my third most exciting game of this conference, to be honest with you. It just looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, it looks super neat. Doom Eternal looks to be on track to be a good game. So there's no complaints there. I don't care about any of the Elder Scrolls stuff. I just don't. I'm sorry, I can't get worked out.
You don't want to play Elder Scrolls card game?
No, and I don't want to play Elder Scrolls Online, and I don't want to play Elder Scrolls the freaking mobile game. I don't want any of it. Throw it all out. You know, I'm okay. But Wolfenstein Youngbloods look pretty good. You know, I haven't played any of the new gen Wolfensteins though. I just think they look cool and like watching people play them. But I don't.
They're interesting. I would put them more into like a comical. They're definitely over the top. Same vein as Doom, only Doom is a lot more gory, I would say.
Doom is super gory. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're a fun time.
So I have no complaints about that. Anything else from the Bethesda conference
Yeah.
that stands out to you that you want to talk about? Because as you see, I didn't even put it on the
I
docket
can't
because I just
remember.
didn't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I would. So if we're going to keep the
Yeah.
rating system, I would put this in really a
Oh,
C,
yeah.
where really, yeah, where they didn't have any wowzer
Mm-hmm.
announcements. Like, I think what you'll find out is that I thought Ubisoft and Square Enix were far better conferences than Microsoft
Bethesda.
and Bethesda, and I didn't care much for a lot of what Square Enix was
Well,
showing,
we're going to talk about that. Yeah.
but
Yeah. We like
yeah,
JRPGs. Good score. I didn't
I
score.
know. I know, like everything a lot of Square Enix is not up my alley, but then they'll show some stuff that's
Okay.
like, oh, that's
Okay. That looks neat.
pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, like Battalion
Mm-mm.
1944,
You lost me.
they're like they're cheap.
The cheap Call of Duty clone.
That's Square. Yeah, yeah, the Call of Duty
Yeah.
clone.
I didn't rate Microsoft, so I give Microsoft a C, personally. It wasn't a lot
Okay.
there for me. I did like the Lego Forza. I forgot to mention that. And I'll rate Bethesda a B only for B for boring. But I did like
Yeah.
Ghost Wire Tokyo. That's the only reason it gets a B for me. Okay.
Yeah. What were your thoughts about the Fallout
I
DLC?
think. Oh my
But
goodness.
which is
Oh
free
my
to
god.
everyone, so that's a
Free
good
is
sign,
fine.
by
I
the
can't.
way.
You can't get too worked up about free, can you? So, but I think
Right.
them shoehorning in NPCs and quests and things like that is smart. But the stuff should have been in there at the beginning. And I think the battle royale mode
Yeah.
is an interesting add to Fallout because it won't hurt anything. But they've been talking about a battle royale mode in 76 since the game came out. We finally getting it. I've seen it played on Twitch and I've seen it played on YouTube. It's serviceable enough, you know. It looks interesting. You get to be the overseer if you win. So I think it's I can't rag on 76 like I used to anymore because at least they're trying. You know, at least they're trying. So they're not
Right.
they're not just antheming it up
Yeah.
and just saying, you know, we're just going to take our toys and go home. They're actually trying to fix it, which is admirable. So I give them kudos for at least, you know.
Yeah. The problem is though that you there's like throwing money after bad or whatever, throwing good
Yeah.
money after bad
Yeah.
type of scenario where I'm convinced, and I bet I still haven't checked the stat for it, that what will determine your health of a game, if it's good or bad, is in the first week of its release or something.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. And like, take examples of No Man's Sky, total
Mm-hmm.
bombshell. They've now updated it to where people have started playing it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a decent game in here, but there's clearly not the same amount of people that they were expecting in the beginning.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I have a feeling Fallout 76 seems like it's going to be that trajectory, trajectory where it's going to add more stuff and it's going to become a decent game. And it could be like a cult classic video game. Like, oh, once all the DLCs came out,
Yeah.
it became a decent game. But you're really throwing money after a bad game, which unfortunately there's no running away from, because you've determined that this is what you're going to be doing already.
The only game that I can think of off the top of my head that survived a horrible launch, but was reborn, was Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14, when it was first started, was trash. Final Fantasy 14 MMO was garbage. Everyone hated it. So they literally burned down the old game and created a realm reborn and started completely over. Everybody who had subscriptions to the original 14 got grandfathered in with cool new stuff, and the ball's been rolling ever since. You know, they were able to get that rebirth. They were able to get that jump start. Whereas a game like Monster Hunter has been giving you nothing but free stuff this whole time. So when Iceborne comes out, you're more than happy to just dump down $40 here. You guys have given me more than I can possibly imagine. Whereas Fallout has to redeem itself in the eyes of the general public and not be so much of a joke. You know what I mean? Once they get the jokes, Fallout
Well, Fallout
76 might be.
76, not
Fallout
Fallout
itself
the
is a beautiful. Is
yeah,
one of my favorite. I don't want to go too long about this, but it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid with 76, and I'm still very hesitant to
yeah.
play it. Uh, so it's
Uh,
just nothing yet is calling me to the game just yet. I'm happy playing 14 until Iceborne comes out, but I respect what they're trying to do. I'll put it like that. You ready to get to this Ubisoft conference? Oh man, we gotta burn through this
yeah,
stuff.
let's do
So
it.
okay, what'd you think about Watch Dogs Legion? Yeah or nay?
I actually looked pretty cool. Like I didn't play the other Watchdog games, but I think this one, if any of the other ones didn't do it, this one might bring me into the franchise. I like the whole
Play as anybody.
concept of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a concept of
what?
yeah.
Play as any, yeah, play as anybody. Now you have to put that like it's E3 press talk, so anybody means the select characters
NPCs.
that we've profiled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to weed through the BS. 100%.
yes.
Uh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
garbage.
again, listening to the Fallout 76 press conference of last year, people should be trained more not to accept some of the BS that they hear from
I think
spokespeople.
as a culture, we are becoming more trained at that. Look at what happened to Dark Phoenix this weekend. That movie got destroyed. You know why? Because
Right.
A, it didn't have Marvel's Dark Phoenix on it. And I think people were wise to the train wreck that it was. And gaming's the same way, but let's not get on a tirade about that.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Quarantine, yeah or nay?
That looks cool. I mean, I'm a Rainbow Six fan, ish, dude.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
fine.
So I'm happy for it.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey creators create a new game called Gods and Monsters. So it's like Banjo-Kazooie X God of War in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah or nay? What's neat?
I'm all for new titles. Yeah.
Division 2. Did you play
Uh,
that?
never played it. It's which is
I
unfortunate.
played Division 1. Division 1
Yeah.
was okay. Ghost Recon Breaking Point beta. Do you care?
That looks cool to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Roller Champions looks super cool to me.
Yeah, I thought for sure they're gonna announce that it's coming out today or something like
I
that.
thought it was already out. Like legit.
No, it's a free trial. Yeah, it's like a
That's
beta
why.
alpha trial.
Yeah, the beta is between June 10th and June 14th for those who are interested.
Uh-huh.
And that's about it for Ubisoft. What would you grade Ubisoft overall?
I had to give it an A just because they hit all the points. They had a wide plethora of games. Like we didn't even touch on Dance Dance Revolution or anything like
No,
that.
we did not.
Yeah. So I feel they did very well, and it's like it's weird that Microsoft to me seemed like even though they probably had a lot more games being announced, Ubisoft still looked a little bit more refined or fresh.
Yeah, Ubisoft actually had their stuff together.
Yeah.
But Microsoft, I feel like they didn't get all the stuff they wanted, so they made some things linger. You know. Oh, and I'll also talk about that cringy Bethesda moments where people were like, "I love Bethesda so much; it's helped me with X, Y, Z," and it just seems so forced that it almost seems like they're actors. And I hate to think that way. I hate to be that cynical.
Yeah, I think that when people think like that, it's more just our culture is cynical. They don't.
Yeah.
It's like there's absolutely no way that you can determine whether they're real or fake.
It's super hard.
Yeah.
So I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but
Yeah.
they kept if it was one segment, I'll be cool with that. But it was like 4 different segments within the conference that they kept pushing it. And I was just like, come on, guys. Like I get it, you know? Anywho, we got a motor. The Square Enix conference. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay. Yeah or nay?
If it has Final Fantasy, my brain goes nay. I mean,
Final Fantasy VII? The best video game ever made? Word?
Okay. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So
Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. The guy with the gun hand looked neat.
that was Barrett, duh. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII is a huge game. It's half of the Earth is waiting for it. It looks great. It looks like it plays great. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. There's nothing more I can really add. Let's talk about this mess. Marvel's Avengers project has finally been revealed. Yay or nay?
Well, it seems like you kind of tipped your hat there with look at this mess.
Not that I feel that way, but just everything around it is toxic right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we're seeing Avengers becoming like Star Wars, where people have ideas of what they want their nerd fantasy to be, and then when their nerd fantasies do not translate to what's being made, they get upset.
I went on a mini rant last night because I was so mad at the automatic vitriol. So many channels and so many Twitter followers were just hating on this game immediately, and I was like, "How? Why?" It's
right.
I don't get it. Like, it's so nuts to me. Like, you're okay to not like stuff 100%. There's stuff I don't like. But we haven't really seen anything of this game yet. Like, people were ragging on stuff like Cap's uniform looked bad. Like, it's a design choice. I bet you there's all types of skins and costumes. You can dress your little your doll up as best you want. I don't mind a redesign of characters. That's fine with me. I want to see something I've never seen before. You know? I don't know. I'm super excited for the game. It's like Anthem, but good. It's like a 4-player, single player. It's either single player or multiplayer. You can choose between. And you start off with the original 6 Avengers, minus Hawkeye, which everyone's so salty about. And they're going to be introducing new heroes as free rollouts for like different downloadable content chapters. Sounds good to me. And it's all going to be based off nerdy Marvel stuff. You know, your first villain you fight, I think, is Taskmaster.
I mean, it sounds good for a Square Enix game.
Yeah, and that's a whole other thing. Oh, it's got me so turned. This isn't like Insomniac, or this isn't Naughty Dog. You know, or
it's Square Enix, who has a formula of how they do certain RPGs. Yeah,
and they don't do action games like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is all like unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, and are we assuming that it is like straight up action, or because again, we haven't seen that much.
We don't know what this game is, honestly, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to define. I mean,
it's hard.
They clearly said that they're making their own universe.
Yeah.
In this, so we can't really look at the movies for a comparison or anything. Nope. I think it's wise that they did that because then it defeats any people. Yeah, any people's interaction. Like, why didn't you get Robert Downey Jr.?
Because it would cost $1 billion. That's why.
Yeah,
we don't have to talk about it. I just want to announce it that Final Fantasy VIII is getting remastered. Yay! Moving on. Gears of War Judgment creators are creating a game called Outriders. It's a CG trailer. Really don't know.
It looks cool.
Looks cool. The guys who made Bulletstorm are working on it. I love me some Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 got some more trailers. It looks good. You feel like Final Fantasy 14. And there's a lot of like
looks good.
It's good. So we got like Life is Strange 2, a lot of Dragon Age stuff, or not Dragon Quest, rather. I'm sorry. Don't fight me.
Dragon.
Fuck the Dragon. Yeah. Dragon Quest 1000. So a lot of JRPG stuff. What would you rate the Square Enix panel?
I have to give them an A. Like, even though I don't like a lot of the games that they announced, it was primavera to me.
Yeah, it was the best of show.
Yeah.
From what we had, and with the 600-pound elephant in the room being Sony not being there. So there was a power vacuum that you would have thought Microsoft would have capitalized on, but they themselves were kind of out of it. So Square was the heroes. They saved E3. But here comes a new challenger. We have the Nintendo press conference.
Hold on. We got to be clear. Nintendo Direct is not a part of E3.
No, it's not. It's its own thing, but it happens to be around E3, so I'm fitting it in. Because this new game.
Okay, this is a quick grind my gears moment. People are throwing around the term press conference without even defining it, okay? I don't know how many times I've heard people say that EA did a press conference at E3 this year.
They did.
Folks, they did not.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
It angers my blood how many times people have said that. And then I told them, well, it's an EA live play where they talk about the games in between, but it's not a press conference.
Mm-mm.
And they go, okay. So then the EA press conference this year, I'm like,
I feel you. That's a strange hill to die on, but I totally agree. I'm with you, man. 100%.
It is a strange hill.
You got.
Will you ride with me?
I will ride with you into the depths, my man, because I 100% agree.
Storm the gates,
ninja style.
Of course you.
Electric eye. Infiltrate. Yeah. Storm the gates. Shut up. The song rules. If I wasn't afraid of being copyrighted and stricken by YouTube, I would make that the end of the podcast. Sorry. I guess Breath of the Wild Zelda is getting a sequel. Nice.
Oh, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was a good game. I'm okay playing more of it. It was probably my game of the year. Game's amazing. More than happy for it. Animal Crossing New Horizons is delayed until 2020. For those who want that.
Sounds like the animals are taking forever to cross. Okay.
Speaking of animals, Banjo-Kazooie is the next fighter in Smash Brothers Ultimate. That's a strong flex.
Yay!
It's not Sub-Zero or anything, or freaking Doomslayer, but I'll take me some Banjo. Can we please get a new game? Maybe? No? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
We're Nintendo. We can do whatever we want, just not that.
It's not what you want. Hence, Metroid Prime 3. Anywho, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake is coming out on September 20th. Cute little remake. Dragon Quest 11, I do not care. Luigi,
but Dragon Quest,
but Dragon Quest, beloved staple of glorious and proud Nippon. We're moving on. Luigi's Mansion 3 is looking pretty good. Looking pretty svelte over there. So
looking pretty fly for a Luigi guy.
For a Luigi guy. Give it to me, Luigi. Mario.
Oh no!
Mario.
Oh no! Oh,
yeah,
you did it better.
Mario.
You get it.
Yeah,
folks, this is what you tuned in for. We still have comedy in our podcast, and it's an hour and 10 minutes in.
This is us burning the midnight oil. Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch. I'm super not cool with that because God knows how many gigs that's going to be on your poor little Switch. So moving on from that,
you just have an SSD drive attached to your Switch at all times.
Yeah, just have like have a exabyte chip inside your Switch. Just let that rock. A collection of mana and Trials of Mana, which I believe are just collection of mana games on the Switch. Yeah. No More Heroes 3 is coming out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I like No More Heroes. I'm a fan of Travis Touchdown Brig. So more reasons that I'm happy to have a Switch. Dude, Panzer Dragoon is getting a new game, dude. I'm hyped for that. You remember Panzer Dragoon Orda on the 360?
I don't know what you just said to me, boy.
Panzer Dragoon? You said boy. I don't know.
That boy needs therapy.
You made me feel like 10 years old again because that's how my grandfather used to talk to me. Come over here, boy. Oh, shit, I'm in trouble. Come here, boy. Sit on my lap. I'm going to tell you about something. Grandpa, don't hit me. No, I'm just kidding. My grandpa was real chill. He just called me boy. And it always was like intimidating. and the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield are getting a Pokeball Plus. I don't care. It's all about Soppel. Soppel is the best boy. I will fight you forever. And lastly, Crypto the Necrodancer is getting a cover for Hyrule for Zelda. So it's called Cadence of Hyrule. And it's going to be a Zelda-themed Crypto the Necrodancer video game, which seems neat because it's all going to be to the beats of Zelda music, which I'm totally down for. Also, we got some cool stuff from Astral Chain, which is the super sick police pupper character action game from Platinum Games that's going to be on the Switch. We have a crazy update for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that's going to include the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Marvel Knights. For those, shut your mouth. Cyclops is going to be the game, therefore Mike G is playing the game. Cyclops is in the game, therefore Mike G is in the game.
What about the Empire of Sin game or whatever it's called?
That's interesting, right? That's interesting.
See, I'm a journalist.
I read the articles. Yeah. This is why you're the best.
I go peeing standing up. Okay.
I sit down like you're supposed to. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are coming to the Switch. Yay. We're getting some kind of weird Dark Crystal game. I don't care.
Drink your essence!
And we're getting a new conference.
Pay your subscription!
Pay your subscription!
Okay.
Yeah. What do you rate Nintendo?
I didn't watch it. I just got the list of stuff that they announced, but I would give it a B.
Same here. Like, I was actually just trying to watch it before the episode, and I didn't catch it all. Yeah. But from what they've listed, I would give it like a B plus, an A. Yeah. They have some pretty neat stuff on there. The Switch is no slouch, So, I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
So, what would you rate this E3 in general, from an A to a D?
I have to give it a passing grade, so it would be like a B minus.
I give it a C, man. A lot of the stuff we already knew was coming out. There was really no like crazy releases other than like Elden Ring.
And there is no one that is what they need is a like Todd Howard. He's now damaged goods, so he's no longer the guy everyone wants to listen to. Okay, what we need is another Todd Howard to come out, or what I am waiting for is the ultra serious Steve Jobs type game dude to come out going.
We lost so many this year. We lost Todd Coward, lost all his credibility.
Yeah.
So Todd Coward is gone.
Yes.
Reggie retired from Nintendo. He was the guy. Everyone warmed up to Reggie. He's gone now. PlayStation hasn't had one for years. You know what I'm saying? Like that people just love. You know what I mean? Like the grandpa that comes out and tells you about video games.
Yeah.
We need a new guy. You're right. You're 100% right. That makes you want to look forward to E3.
Like if you're still gonna have this whole mentality of we need to do E3 stuff, or like we need to have press conferences and not directs. You know what I'm saying?
Then have a guy.
Yeah, like I actually even direct. You need a Reggie type character or something like that. I think you need to have you need a TJ Miller dude, and you need to have someone who's not going to have skeletons in their closet either, folks. I don't know how hard, or it's like it's just in the mentality of like the type of people that go for this job that they just seem to be like they're out there. I'm available, folks.
And I think that's an American problem. Because I think in Japan, they have a lot of good personalities.
Well, Japan, it's all accepted to be weird. So it doesn't matter. Like, they could be watching tentacle porn. Right.
Jeez, I'm talking about Nintendo and wholesome. What's the name of the old man who comes out for Nintendo? He helped create like Mario and Link.
No, I don't know.
I can't remember his name, but he's a nice, sweet old man. It's too bad there's such a language barrier that we can't really warm up to him. You know, Hideki Kamiya's cool. He carries around a samurai sword and doesn't give a shit about anything. You know, Shinji Mikami is super cool. You know, even the weird Yakuza baby that helps make all the Yakuza games. He's cool. Forget his name. He's an old man that looks like a baby, and he wears all black, and he's kind of creepy in that stoic kind of way. You know, like he's always squinting, so he's like, "I'll fight you," but he's also warm. Like, you know, like if Yogi Bear was a real bear, he's still just as nice as Yogi Bear, but he's still a bear. You know, like, so there's always that distance. Like, I mess with you, Yogi Bear, but I'm afraid of you 24 hours a day. And he's like, "Hey, boo boo, we're going to eat this human and put him in a picnic basket." Winter, Trash Month the Third. I just can imagine you busting out their audio going, "Ay, ay, ay."
Or no, I would go, "From the dawn of time, we've been wanting a box with an X on it. Here."
they take that giant cane and just pull you out. And now for something completely different. Oh, man.
Wait,
what are you looking forward to?
You didn't hear my whole Bill Clinton rant. What?
I get no respect.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to, I kind of have this whole week off. I'm going over to my parents to house sit while they're in Oakland. Yeah, you won't find them. And then, yeah.
Dox your parents, man.
That's pretty much it.
Can you imagine? Just start a website called doxyourmom.com. Or just put out, or you just find your mom and just put out all.
I don't like Winter's thoughts about things. So I'm gonna go talk to his mom.
I'm gonna go dox his mom. .com. That may be the name of this podcast. That's stupid. I'm not looking forward to anything. There's nothing. There's no movies coming out. I'm just playing my same old games. I'm still on my BS. I want to record a new top 10. I just can't think of a good topic just yet. So I'll probably be brainstorming between you and Brian to think of something. The MOTN After Dark is coming out on Friday to the public, where I talk about like mature rated animations. Like, you want to talk about us? So look forward to that. That'll be out Friday. That's about it. Any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Check out all the stuff I'm doing online at Trash Monk the Third, Trash Monk III. You know, Wisecast is something I do. We talk about youth culture, me and another dude, and you know, always doing exciting stuff. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, man. If you like this, kind of a big deal. MLTN is kind of a big deal.
Yes.
If you like this content, you can definitely support us monetarily by visiting our Patreon. That's patreon.com/MLTN, where with $1 a month, you'll be doing this podcast an amazing service to help keep the lights on and also to help support us and make this thing even bigger. If you want to support us non-monetarily, you can always visit any of our podcast outlets, may that be iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or Google Play or Spotify. Leave us a like. Comment on our stuff. Let us know what you're thinking, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all of our up to date with all of our new information. And also check out our Twitter, which is @mnerdiverse, where you can participate in our polls and get into arguments with Mike G over what is and what isn't a donut. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk to you because I'm not that weird Johnny Depp famous where I can't talk to people anymore. I'm just saying, I'm going to live in my villa in Tuscany, and I can't talk to you on the internet because I have a social media marketing rep to do that now.
Ninja,
and
is that
you? I smoke long cigarettes. That is super ninja now. I would never be too big to not talk to people online. That is the worst. Wait. Unless I'm prone to say crazy stuff, and then I'll just let somebody professional handle it.
I'm already at that level. I don't talk to a lot of people online unless it's something I want to do.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm a man of the people.
By your internet's usage.
Don't at all, man.
Speaking of that, let's hurry this up.
Speaking of that, let's hurry this up. Absolutely. There's no Sharks game though, right?
There is no Sharks game.
I've of course been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Winter. How dare you?
And we will, how dare you? And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond, beyond.